So now we're involved in trying to make sure we get a very efficient digital payment structure set up for all the poorest in the world to get financial products that work for them.
What are you doing?
The idea is that typically through the cell phone, you should be able to send money to your relatives. You should be able to track the money that's coming in, set aside money to buy seeds the next year. And there are countries where this is beginning to take off. Kenya, Bangladesh, even Somalia, maybe the last country you'd suspect, up in Somaliland, almost half of the GDP is done digitally. I don't need to tell you that the poor have been unbanked for as long as there have been banks. Why is this time different? Well, it's really the digital revolution. The poorest have bought cows, stored gold, put currency under their mattress, but they are getting cell phones, and the cell phone capability of identifying who's using the cell phone, letting you look at your spending patterns, that's going to be common sense. People are going to have help and lots of innovative products competing on top of this digital currency platform.
The whole concept is, I don't, well, first of all,
but is it buyer, is it seller, is it price discovery? Like, where's the risk there in the financial?
One of the main uses of Bitcoin is as a vehicle for perpetrating fraud. I mean, because you can't trace it. There's no payment.
So is cash sometimes.
So is cash, but guess what? It's hard to accumulate cash sometimes.
Yeah, but the world is going in a different direction. If you think about it, go look in China where they're basically getting rid of cash. Everybody is paying with their smartphones. People who are begging in the streets have a little sign next to where they're sitting in the streets. These are people who really need help from society. Instead, they're sitting there begging for money. They have a sign with a code on it, a QR code. If you want to give them money,
Really?
you point your cell phone at the QR code, hit a button, and they have a bank account. And that's the way they're getting their money. China is heading in the direction, and they've gone a very large way, as is India starting to do the same thing, of getting rid of cash. And one of the reasons is that you can then stop the black market and stop the drug dealers, and you can track where all the currency is going. We're not going to go in a different direction. Now, America may not be ready to go there, although we're going to be left behind if we don't, because this is a much more efficient ways of paying for goods and services.
So, Lloyd, that's what...
When I was working on the sort of great project of my life back in 2013, and trying to figure out things like how could I get this archive of material to journalists? How could I persuade them that this is real, that this is practical? How could they see things in a safe way that's uncontrolled, that's unseen, that happens permissionlessly? There's a question of, well, do I need server infrastructure of my own? Maybe the answer is yes. Okay, how do I pay for that anonymously? Maybe someone like me may have used Bitcoin for something like that.
Saying, the market's waiting for companies like, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Fidelity, Square to get in the space, and you're starting to see it happen now. JP Morgan got in the space. AT&T now accepts Bitcoin. Fidelity has launched their product in a limited way right now. Rumor has it E-Trade might be launching something, and then of course Facebook might be doing something now. So you're starting to see that these currencies actually have real use cases now around the world, and it's making people really excited now because they can see the light at the end tunnel for these use cases.
Well, let's talk to Thomas Cowton. He's from the blockchain application platform Lisk. Thomas, is Bitcoin finally coming of age?
I think so. I think we're seeing true mainstream adoption starting to kick in. This year, over 125% up, beating basically every asset in the world, gold, tech stocks, S&P 500. And I think the main driver of that is institutional investors. They really see the use cases behind Bitcoin beyond speculation and really putting their assets in place.
Satoshi Nakamoto with Bitcoin, this is the largest innovation in monetary science since Isaac Newton's gold standard. And it's a whole new epoch of money, this math-based money or math-based currency. And it's a protocol, so it's a new layer in the internet also. So the money is just one application of this protocol. We're going to have many other applications in addition to the money or the currency. And so this is extremely exciting, and where this triple entry bookkeeping, this distributed decentralized decentralized ledger, where all of this is going to lead in terms of capital formation and accumulation and governance. Very, very exciting, because we came up with double entry bookkeeping, over 500 years ago. We haven't really had advancements since then, and yet Bitcoin is an advancement all the way across the board in so many different areas, and it's extremely exciting.